So another video for the day. This one's kind of in red pill, blue pill space, and just really where we're at as society. You know, just want to point something out. Like, people might not be like recognizing. Like, again, I don't want any groups of people being offended, but in this portion, I'm not looking out for groups of people. I'm not looking out for black, white, gay, or anything. I'm looking out for American. All right, something that me and my peoples, we fought a lot for. My peoples, meaning the peoples. All right, these peoples. All right, some of y'all don't know about that. All right, but we're talking about these peoples. All right, yeah, we bleed green, homie. Alright, we bleed that red, white, and blue. Alright, we all have different ideologies. Some of us Trump supporters and some of us not. But we all agree the same thing. A lot of you guys are stupid pawns. You guys are just dumb. A lot of you. Even some of these guys got hear this Trump rhetoric or whatever, and hear this Biden or whatever. Okay, so for one, let's just talk about it for what it is, okay? Trump is bad as he was with the not policies. Well, actually, he was actually bad in policies too. So people are talking about people are getting jobs and stuff. But what are you talking about? People hadn't been working much once he took office. Some of employment went up, but I think that was just necessarily what people were doing. Just people get fired, jobs change, and our whole economy is changing. We're about to have a bunch of truck drivers coming home in the next few years with no education backing them, just years of driving a truck around the country. So we got that kind of stuff to think about. And go back with the Obama administration, I don't think they did well at all. They screwed us badly. People have to realize that Democrats and Republicans are doing the same thing. One of them is taking it and they're doing it with no remorse. The other one asks you if they can just put the tip in and then they still take it. They might, make it a little more comfortable, but they're doing the exact same thing. These people are laughing at you. All of them. They're laughing at you because, I see the thing about divide and conquer. Yeah, all this stuff that they're doing is divide and conquer. Okay. First and foremost, the taking of guns in California, what they're working on now, and disarming the country. Remember, we have our Second Amendment rights to combat exactly what they're doing now, which is a government takeover. We have our firearms in place so that way the government cannot just do this. So the government must realize too that even if you have all these soldiers, Marines or whatever, I think the Marines are probably the only ones dumb enough to still go against like the actual people that they're supposed to be protecting. But should it go down, I don't think the military's gonna have a good time. And they wouldn't, because not only that, you have a bunch of civilians armed, but then you have a lot of veterans with the same type of training armed. So now, you see them dismantling, that portion, feminizing the men. It's always been an agenda since I was little. I could always tell that this agenda with trying to make men not men anymore was kind of there, but it's gone to an extreme now. Really an extreme. Guys are desperate for sex most times than not. Like I said, you got a room full, 10 guys and 20 women. Majority of the women are going to be trying to sleep with one of the 10 guys, and they're going to be totally fine with it. While there's a bunch of other guys sitting around that are perfectly just as good, but they always only want the one guy. It's causing guys to do a lot of weird stuff. I'm not really a proponent for the whole, believe guys are straight or gay. That's just it. There's no room for bisexuality for men, because should you be able to even fathom doing stuff with another man that crosses you over with the other line, Again, this is not like hate speech or anything whatsoever. This is just ideology from what you call, yeah, I'm not even accepting that term that you guys try to live me under. I'm just a straight man. It's super straight. So you gotta say super straight. So but I'm just a super straight dude. Fucking, there's no animosity or nothing, but this is what it is. And I believe majority, if not all, only women actually only think that men can be bisexual. So because women can be bisexual, they're fluent sexually, where you can have a straight girl floating around with another straight girl and she not think too much about it. For a dude, though, that's playing on your manhood. So again, feminizing the men, and where it's getting bad is that now, the sign of masculinity, black men, we're considered usually the most masculine men around. We've been feminized. I think it started back with the skinny jeans, personally. The skinny jeans was the first sign. Actually, I should have took it wrong when niggas was wearing pink. Y'all remember Cameron with the polos and the pink polos? I think I should have been looking then. Pharrell too. There was a little funny acting. But then the skinny jeans came. And now we got a little Nas X. And again, I'm not a hater. Gay rappers have always existed. Gay singers have always existed. Gay people ruled the world at one point. So, and actually still are. Somewhat still ruling it. I'm not in any proponent hating or gay. Let's say love who you love, sex who you sex. But also, what you do behind closed doors is your business. I can't be getting, cunnilingus or whatever the heck you call it, no fellatio or nothing in public from no female, and it'd be okay. Or me even really discussing it aloud, and it'd be okay. Even for me to be like wildly making out with a woman in public is even not considered okay. It's considered kind of tacky and just like unclassy. So again, your sexual preferences and stuff, they're not, that's your business. So further break down society, this thing about pronouns. If you haven't watched South Park, they called this, and this is really affecting women, like actually kind of crazily, because you guys are equal and all this stuff. Okay, well, let's put us in the same arenas then, where let's take off all the breaks and stuff. So you got men now identifying as women and competing with you guys in your sports. I called this out a long time ago. This was a discussion I got in with two people about the female wrestler in Texas that graduated a couple years back, maybe about 4 years back. There's a controversy about her competing as a trans female with women. Now, I didn't think that was a problem. She was born a woman. So even with testosterone, she was beating them before. So it didn't matter. It does make a difference, though, if you had a male transition over to female wrestling and, like you're not hanging, not typically. So she had to be a very, very skilled wrestler. Because it's not to say that, physically weaker wrestlers can't beat physically stronger wrestlers. I've seen it all the time. Me and my brother, a good example. I trump him in strength. He's not even like he's a rag doll to me, but he'll whoop me. I cannot out wrestle him. He has that much skill over me. So for me to compete with him, I have to really muscle him around. So that's not to say that like I said, smaller can't beat bigger or weaker can't beat stronger. It's a skill level thing. But in this case, having a lot of strength really helps. Like I said, me being stronger than him so much, but balances it out a little bit, just enough to where I might be able to defend myself a little bit. But again, he's that much better than me. And so this arena where men have now, under the pronoun of she or her, are now coming into your sports, and they're not just dominating, they're shattering records that you guys will never be able to even get close to. This is all because of this gender pronoun thing. And some people might get mad about it and feel like I'm being some way, but keep it real. My best friend was gay before having a gay best friend was cool. So shout out to Larry, wherever you may be, my man. But this isn't a hate speech. This is like, you're kind of reaping what you sow. You're trying to destroy society with this minuscule crap about, calling him or her. Well, this is how I judge that. If you are a man in a dress and you look like a woman, I don't know, then I'll probably call you her. If you're a nigga with a 5 o'clock shadow, though, wearing a dress, I'm gonna call you a nigga. Sorry for you. I can't help that, though, bro. Like, you're not even making it so impossible. So, like, walk like a duck, talk like a duck, move like a duck, but barks like a dog. Nigga, you still a fucking duck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You can try to dress it up all you want. Like, you still are what you are. And again, this is not hate speech. Like, you can call yourself whatever you want, but it shouldn't be put on me to have to pretend with you. And for it to be some type of big deal about, like, what you're doing. Like, and again, I'm not judging. Trans people are trans people. It just is what you're just people. It is what it is. But for this become an agenda where now we're talking about him, them, now, they, when we're still not talking about fucking public education. We're still not talking about how the system is so screwed up. But we're talking about your gender pronouns. I identify as a fucking wolf now then. Alright? And next girl I date, she better identify as a dolphin. Okay? So that's where we're at. I mean, if you can just identify with whatever's you want to be, well, I should be able to identify as some type of fucking spirit animal. Or, like, identify as a white man. I'm gonna start riding white and all my stuff. I bet you I start getting, like, more hits on these better jobs that I apply for. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I can say that I'm white if I want to, but I'm black. Like, I can even straighten up my talk and talk like this if I want to. What's going on there, buddy? I can talk like, quite frankly, but it don't matter because I look, dress, smell, my hair. I am who I am. I'm not going to ask you to pretend that I'm not. Okay? So, this portion of society, again, is part, again, feminizing men, but keeping us off the bigger issues, which is actually fixing the country. Okay? A lot of our issues, honestly, have to do with sex. Sex has been our biggest issue. The men are so desperate that they're doing essentially gay stuff just to have sex with women. And believe me, I've been prophesized. Like, had one Jewish girl out in IB telling me, and this was a while ago, telling me, she'd hook up with me, and then she's got her other thing, and she wants us all to, like, I'm like, I'm not, no, ew. Like, no, but I was being judged for being closed-minded. No, that's not being closed-minded. Respect the fact that I am a straight man. You want me to respect the fact that you're not, or that this is that and what? Well, what happened to just respecting what is? Like, yeah. And I happen to agree with most of the women because I feel like this is, again, backlashing towards the women on it as far as the trans issue, but I'm hearing it now, more often than not, where women now are kind of being like, well, no, you're not a real woman. So, like, you guys kind of got to decide. All these little petty-ass craps that we're going through, and we're still not worried about the main societal issue, which is, again, our education system is completely up to boots. It's just for the shits. They're not teaching them anything. They weren't teaching us anything. Not really. If you really wanted education, you had to read your own books. If you went to public school, or hope you got into one of those advanced classes, but I don't know how much they were actually teaching those kids either. you know, aside from getting the math right. But why aren't we taught law in schools, how to understand our laws? They don't understanding your credit, because they want to teach you all these other things that are supposed to be pertain to your life. But once you get through with your basic school shit, which most of the basic stuff you can get done with by your sophomore year, so about where your junior or senior year, you're kind of coasting. Why aren't they filling those other blocks up with that education about how your actual taxes work? No, they separate to a different class that you have to apply for. I think politics or something like that. Or you have to go to a finance class. You have to pick those classes specifically. No, these classes should be mandated as norm. Because without them, you're looking at a bunch of kids failing, and people will be saying, "Well, I didn't," and well, you probably had a 2-parent household. So I feel like this is one of the failings of minority communities, is where these things aren't given. There's no dad in the home to teach daughter and son about money. Because again, mother is incentivized to keep dad at the home so she can get child support and get state funding for this, that. This is again a normal thing. You incentivize breaking up the American household. So education is an issue. And again, breaking up the American household is an issue. This goes back to the law thing, because again, a lot of people break laws to where it's something that should be tiny, honestly. Like some of these things, and people are getting years for it, a couple of years, or even something really tiny, one mistake, and it follows you for 5 years. It takes be a person to tell you, I've gone through it, and it takes almost a good 5 years to recover from the stuff that you go through from just having an arrest, like having an actual arrest, like having something charged to your name. It takes a while to get past the scrutiny. Some cases you might get the scarlet letter where people aren't messing with you. I had that happen. It was a good couple of years after I got in trouble where nobody was messing with me. My record was affecting it. The one mistake I made my whole life, I never got in trouble, and this one thing affected it, and I couldn't do nothing. Had I understood the law better, had I understood how police worked better, had I understand everything better, I probably would have done things a lot differently. There's nobody talking to me about getting a Roth IRA, which should be done because most people going to public school are not rich. So why aren't we talking about these things in school? In California, our rent got hiked. San Diego is now the most expensive place in the state to live. Why? All right. They just raised the rent on us like a few years before the pandemic. Like right before the pandemic hit, they just raised the rent. And now, homes that were $1,200 are $2,000. Our gas prices went from like $3.50, which was already taxing, $3.50, $4. Our average price for gas now is like about $5.10. Why? And this is not being computed into, how we're supposed to live. Well, it is, because, without you realizing it, this system says that, if you work your hours, you should have like 5 cents for yourself afterwards. Like, it's really crazy. Really, really crazy. So, I don't know. I had this video just to really just kind of put everybody in perspective. You guys are all really worried about the wrong stuff. You guys are sitting here talking and Biden and not realizing that Biden is a figurehead. He rolled in on the Obama hype train, and he rolled in on the fact that Trump talks too much. All right, and now he's in here, and you guys are gonna blame the guy. The guy's not actually doing anything. He's an old ass man who is just up there to make talking points and give you guys something to point your finger at. There's other powers behind that chair running that shit. You guys really need to just really dig in and look beyond the bullshit, because it really is. All I hear is layers of crap upon crap upon crap, and you guys aren't peeling it back and seeing what's really there. All this division over people who aren't divided. They're teaming up to keep us divided and to keep us talking about stuff that we shouldn't be talking about. instead of keeping us talking about the stuff we should be talking about, which is them, what they're doing. Yeah, and why is everything rose up in the areas, but, prices skyrocketing, but people aren't making much more money. So minimum wage went up, but you guys inflated, property tax and everything. You inflated rent. You inflated our living. So what was the point of even getting the raise in the minimum wage? For you people that voted for the $12, like 8 years ago, minimum wage, bet you guys feel real stupid right now, don't you? I think you're real stupid. But, I said that before you guys signed the paperwork. Because nobody reads the dotted line. All you guys are worried about is me, and get what you can get real quick. A little bit of money. Yeah, but that little bit of money, your greed damned us all. Literally just damned us all. Most of us that grew up here in our areas won't be able to afford to live in our areas soon enough. They'll be moving in Kardashians down here. This will be New Calabasas. So, like I said, this is just food for thought. You guys are worried about the wrong things. If we really want to come together, we really got to have these open conversations. People have to stop wearing their horse blinders. People have to stop listening to what Joe Rogan says and, what they might say on ESPN and whatever you hear on TV. You need to sit down and look at it and really fathom your own opinion. Whatever you're thinking, which is probably some crazy thought that's making you feel like it's a conspiracy, you're probably right. Generally, you're right. They only call it a conspiracy theory until it's proven factual. So, granted, there are some of you that are going to come up with some real off the wall crap, but you're probably not too far off either. Whatever you think that they're doing behind, they're doing it. Just like last time we started talking about Paris. Well, what was going on during that time? The pipeline was getting built. The pipeline that we weren't supposed to build. That we broke our treaty and shortened up Native American land. Again, we broke our own treaty. We dishonored ourselves and built this pipeline through their land. And we shaded up with when news all of a sudden starts talking about Paris. I don't give a shit about Paris. There's no offense to Parisians. You guys stink. No offense to you guys, but you guys aren't feeding us baguettes over here. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the fact that we have problems here. I guess California is about to hollow out and take some more water from the Delta. Nobody's been talking about that. I'm just hearing about that now. And, what the hell is that about? We're already in a drought. So now you're going to take all the farmland away? You're going to salt and seed the rest of the farmland? In case you guys aren't aware, that's what happened. That's why the salt and sea is all messed up like that. LA took their water and reverted it down to them. So, though they had plenty of water already anyways. So, but now they're going into Central and they're going to take the water out of Central California, basically. And it's bad enough that we already export our water to Nestle. Yeah, that's right. If you drink Nestle water, you think it's bottled in Pennsylvania. It's not. It's bottled here in California. They're buying our water already and taking all of it, and we don't have enough water. And now they're going to take the water and build a pipeline to do what with? To get it out to the cities. But for what? Especially since water is something that we can actually create. It's not something that, there is a finite amount, but natural water, but we can actually create water as well. So this is it's crazy times we live in. It's crazy because you people don't give a shit about these crazy times. You don't give a shit about what's going to happen to your families in the next 20 years when a lot of us are about to kick the bucket. Because for some of you guys in your 30s, your life's half over. I'm sorry, nobody want to tell you, but if you're 40, you probably got about 40 more years if you're lucky. You might not see, well, no, actually, as rapidly as this shit's going, you will see the change. you will see the change. When I was a kid, you were allowed to go all the way up into the airport and see people off from the plane. By the time I graduated high school, that was not a thing anymore. You wait by security, and you don't even really wait by security anymore. You just drop them off and go now. It used to be a big deal taking somebody to the airport. It used to be like one of those events. You still see it in the movies, where they show people running up to the gate and all that crap. No, that's not real. Not anymore. But that was normal when I was growing up. Cell phones were not normal. But cell phones are normal now. That's how much things have changed. I'm on a cell phone right now. I couldn't imagine talking about video and putting it on the internet. When the internet became a thing. Now it is the thing. So, these changes are rapid in our society. And I expect that before our lifetime is gone, way before our lifetime is gone, we're going to see these other disgusting changes and essentially the destruction of the American empire as we know it. The seeds are already done, the foundation's already cracked. I don't know what the agenda is to continue cracking it. Yeah. So again, just food for thought, man. I need everybody to get their heads out their asses. So I know I'd be speaking on what black people need to do and all that stuff, but this is an American thing here. We got to stop dividing our families up. We got to stop playing the game of the politicals. We got to stop looking to celebrities because most of those guys are idiots. For you people that follow celebrities and listen to what they say, you do realize most of these people didn't go to school, right? Especially child ones. I mean, they had some education, but they're not really going to school like that. The ones that have been in the industry, they have not lived your world and your whole lifetime for most of you. So for about 20 years or so, these people have not lived where they had to worry about their rent or, actually had to see their paychecks come in. They just live. Not to say they don't work, they do what they do, but they just live. They get to play around. Athletes get to play a child's game. Actors get to play house, basically, or get to pretend. I get to pretend being married, pretend being a superhero, or they're essentially playing like kids. They're getting paid to do it though. But you're taking these people that are essentially just being allowed to be huge kids. You're taking their advice and their opinions about what. So understand too, because their success is a luck thing too as well. Talent is talent, but it's also luck. For every player in the NBA, every star player in the NBA, there's somebody on the street that's better than them. Same thing with the NFL. Talk about Michael Vick, or talk about Tom Brady. I'm sure there's a quarterback out there that is just as good as Brady his whole life. Well, actually, Brady is a great example of that because he wasn't the best quarterback coming into the league. He ends his career as the top quarterback in the league. While playing in the same era as Peyton Manning, by the way, who I consider a way better quarterback. But, anyways, I think I'm done ranting for today. I really hope you guys have a great afternoon. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Please leave your comments. I really hope that this touches a nerve with some of you. Hope it touches a nerve with all of you. Hope we can all come together and see that it's not a black-white thing or gay, straight, or, any of that. This is the American people versus the government, essentially. This is deciding if you want freedom or are you okay with being a controlled sheep. So, and if you are a sheep, that's all right. That's why you have wolves like me to lead you to the promised land. So, keep following little sheep. Keep following me. The wolf is going to lead you to freedom. Stop paying attention to this shit. Start coming up with your own opinion. Start looking for everything in there. There's more to this shit than you see. There's more to this shit than you want to see. Also, though, it's also a lot more simpler than you guys are making it out to be. So yeah, please, like I said, share this stuff, make your comments, and share I'm gonna have dissuaders and whatever. Have your fun with it. I'm gonna go enjoy my Friday, and for those of y'all in San Diego, I will be at Docks tonight at about 10:30 to 11, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I should be walking in. So hope to catch a couple of you guys there. Maybe I'll buy you a drink, maybe I won't. I'll definitely drink with you. Good night. Afternoon.